All right, so welcome guys to our Monday night team call. It is December 14th, and we are already almost halfway through the month of December. Can you believe that? I swear, like, school just started. This is just unreal. So anyways, this call tonight, I don't know if you guys saw the topic that I posted. It's the back to basics. So I'm just kind of dumbing things down because I want it to be something that you guys can really utilize the rest of this month and hit hard in the next year. So we're going back to basics, and it's 5 steps to a 6-figure business is the topic tonight. And this call is really geared towards newer coaches, but it's also going to be geared towards older coaches who've forgotten that basic stuff. I want this really to be a reminder for you guys to go back to the basics. Don't overcomplicate it. I'm totally guilty of that, and I know a lot of us coaches are guilty of overthinking and overcomplicating things. And this business is really super easy. So I just want to really break it down for you guys and put it in the little bite-sized pieces that makes it really simple for you to duplicate yourselves, but then also to pass on to your team of coaches as well. So a couple of reminders I wanted to mention before we get started. So first reminder, our team page, please use it. It is there for you guys. We are a team. We are all, kind of leaning on each other for help and support and everything. So that's why I have that page in place. I'd really love to see more engagement there, more support from everybody. So use it every single day. Check into that page. I know, Christina, you've been really great about doing that lately and getting kind of some engagement going and posting your questions there. But that's really where I want you guys to go to communicate and ask things. Like, if I'm not available, that should be your go-to resource. And get to know your partners and get to know who your teammates are. And it's really about, you guys coming together and learning things together and even checking in with each other for accountability. So that way you don't feel alone in this, because it's really easy to feel alone, especially like for me. I have a couple local coaches, but they're more like just in it for the discount. They don't work the business. So it's not like I have my best friend Beachbody coach sitting next to me every day. I have my virtual friends, and that's my support system. So I want you guys to look at it that same way, okay? The other reminder is team emails. So I've been sending out team emails like twice a month right now. I want to eventually get them to be going out every week, but right now it's twice a month. So make sure that you're getting them and make sure you're reading them, because if you're not, you are missing a lot of pertinent information. I post recognition in those team emails. I post information about team calls or the recordings, how to catch that, tips, any changes that are coming along, like the last one that I just sent out. I talked about some changes to Success Club that just happened. So please make sure that you're getting them, you're reading them, and then feel free to change them and tweak them so that they're from you and you're passing them on to your coaches as well, because they need that information. But they need it to be coming from you, not from me. Remember, they joined with you, not with me. Okay, and then the last announcement that I wanted to mention is I'm going to be putting together a new coach kind of like boot camp basics group on Facebook. And it's just going to be a group that any new coach or old can go into, and you can work through the daily posts on your own time. So it's not going to be like where you check in every single day. I'm going to keep it as kind of a permanent group. So, feel free, once I get it up and running, that you can go in and use it as a refresher. You can use it as a template to make your own for your coaches, or if you're newer and starting to build a team, feel free to put your coaches in that group so that they have some sort of training in place when they come on board and start as a new coach. Okay, cool. Okay, so I just wanted to also talk about the power of follow-ups real quick. So this is just like a little bonus tip. The power of follow-ups is, I want you guys to remember when you're getting crickets or you're getting no's, that to really think about and remove yourself out of the equation and realize that it's not the right time for that person. And that's why you're not getting, an answer back to your Facebook message, or crickets on one end, or they're just saying, no, I'm not interested right now. Never take it personally. I know it's really easy to do that, but you can't. So if they say no or they don't message you back right away, it really has nothing to do with you or that you said something wrong. It has everything to do with them. So switch your mentality and way of thinking when you're talking to people and you're getting those kinds of responses, because I want you to think about someday you're going to change a person's life. It may not be right now because it's not the right time for them, but it could be later on down the road. So don't give up on this business. Don't give up on those people out there that you're talking to, building, relationships and conversations with, because you really will make a difference. It may not seem like it today, but later on, it does pay off. So every day you show up, you're making a difference. Remember that. Okay, so note-taking time, which hopefully you're already taking some notes. So we'll get into the main topic tonight, which is 5 steps for laying the foundation for a 6-figure business. So I just want to go back before I get into this and talk about like when I first started as a coach. My first year in this business, I was posting 3 to 5 times a day. I sold a few challenge packs. I was inviting to my challenge group. However, I wasn't doing all the vital behaviors I was supposed to be doing. I was not doing personal development. I was not listening to the national wake-up calls or the team calls. I was disconnected in those areas, and it really impacted my business. So when I went to Summit for the first time, that moment when I was there and I saw all these people coming up on stage and sharing their success stories, they were quitting their jobs, they were paying off debt, they were, wives being able to bring their military spouses home or retire their husband from their job or stay home with their kids, whatever their story was. There were so many of these people doing these things out there. And I thought, if these people are doing it, then why can't I do it? But the thing is because I wasn't true, being true to my business. I wasn't all in. I was only kind of dipping my toe in, and that's the kind of results I was getting back. So I wanted to put that out there to you guys because I wasn't focused on learning. And when I started focusing on learning and putting myself all in the business, that's when I started to really see things take off and that momentum start to build in my business. The other big thing is to be okay knowing that you don't know everything in this business. That was something I had to get over personally, is understanding that there is a learning curve, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that you should quit or you should doubt yourself. That's like normal. I mean, it's just like when you start a new job, right? There's things you have to learn. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have failures. This business is the same way. You just have to learn new things and know that you're going to mess up at some point, and that's okay. Okay, so my number 1 tip tonight for building a 6-figure business, the first tip is to focus on learning. Focus on learning. So let's talk about personal development as part of that key component. So when we forget and we throw out personal development and we disconnect from our team, it's over in our business, okay? And the reason for that is you literally have nothing holding you onto this business if you do that. We all have our whys, that we talk about, right? We all have a reason why we became a coach, why we're doing this. And we really need to remember that this business is about helping other people and changing our own life at the same time. So whatever shape or form that is in your why, we all have different whys. But when you forget to focus on learning and focusing on growing as a person, then nothing is going to hold you to this business. And nothing is like going to tether you to where you're going to want to show up every single day. So that's why it's so important to not be skimping on your personal development every day. The other part of that is to be a sponge. So absorb everything you can. That was one thing that once I decided I was all in this business, I said, I'm just going to put myself out there and get into any training I can, connecting with new coaches or top coaches, picking their brains, just trying to learn as much as I could. But in the same regard, there's no shame in not knowing something either. Okay, I think there's a lot of times where we let self-doubt creep in and kind of talk us out of doing certain things because we maybe don't know how to do something. But the fact of the matter is that we can pretty much learn anything there is to learn in this business for free out there. Google, YouTube, your upline, your team, those are all resources that are free that will give you the tools in order to figure it out. Okay, so personal development. Team calls is the other part of this. So you have to be connected to the National Wake Up Call every single week. Like I said, the first year, I think I listened to maybe 2 National Wake Up Calls, and I wasn't doing Janelle's trainings as faithfully, and I just was really missing the boat on all that stuff. So you have to be doing that every single week, especially with the National Wake Up Call. There's a reason why it's so important, and it's because they have the top coaches on that call. And those people are top coaches for a reason. They know what they're doing, and they share with you what they have learned and what they've overcome. So it's a really good training resource. And don't be afraid to go back and re-listen to them either. That was something that I ended up doing. I actually went back and listened to every single National Wake Up Call there was once they put it on the podcast streaming. I made a point almost every day to go back and listen to every single one until every one of them I had listened to, and some, more than once, of course. And the reason for that, especially listening to things more than once, is it sinks in more, right? It takes several times to hear something or see something to where it, makes sense. Or maybe a light bulb comes on the third time you heard it, when the first and second time it was like, what are they talking about? I don't understand what Success Club is, or I don't really understand, how to invite to a challenge group. So you have to hear things more than once in order for it to really sink in and start to understand it. So get on the team calls. Bottom line, get on the team calls. Don't miss it. Like our team calls here. I love this. This is like the highlight of my week, is being able to do this with you guys. And I, want you guys to want to see each other and see our faces and see who's on each week, and be able to, reach out to each other and ask questions. That's what we're here for. So please start doing that, and know that that's an important component of growing your business. Okay, the other part of that is training. So be a part of every single training group that you come across if you can. Now, I'm not talking like get all crazy, like psyched out, I'm doing too much at once kind of thing, but don't be afraid to get in those training groups. So like if I or Janelle or our team has a Push to Emerald group, or like that Coach Basics group that I have coming up, our Push to Success group that we have ongoing, get in those groups, get involved, stick to them. There's a reason for them, and it's to keep you on track in your business and on track learning and growing as a person as well. So make time for learning. So important. Carve out time in your schedule to get your learning in. So what I recommend is get your personal development and any you time. So whether it's, meditation, praying, doing your personal development, whatever, is up your, your avenue of thinking and beliefs, do that first thing in the morning before you start your day out. It's really important because when you sit down in your business to do your power hour and you are going to sit down and open up your inbox, open up your emails, it makes it so much easier to honestly respond and care to those messages, those people that are messaging you, when you have your head right in the morning. And personal development and those kinds of things get your head right before you go in and start dealing with personal messages from people. And along with that, if you guys don't know, there's a document in our team group that has a huge list of personal development recommendations that I personally put together that I like. And so if you don't really know, then utilize that and find a book or audio or something that, intrigues you. Okay, and then lastly, to go along with this, is get your mental nutrition in just like your physical nutrition for your body. It's not only going to make you a much more positive person, but it'll help you understand how to better work your business. And here's a tip I have for you guys. So a lot of stuff that you do in the beginning as a new coach is learning. Like your first month, hands down, is going to be mostly learning, and that's just how it works, just like in a new job, right? But don't mistake learning and personal development for working your business. Because you can spend like 4 hours listening to calls, right? And not do a single thing in your business to move your business forward that day. So don't mistake that. Don't make that mistake. I've made that mistake. And what goes hand in hand with that is another tip, and put this in big bold letters on your notes, is learn and implement. Learn and implement. Now, why that's so important is because, I've listened to calls before, and I've taken all these notes down, and then I forgot to do anything with it, right? I took mad crazy notes for an hour, and it just sat in my notebook, right? You have to implement what you learn. Don't feel you have to do it all, though, because, like these training calls, there's a lot of really cool, crazy information coming at you where you're like, oh yeah, I want to do this and I want to do that, and pick like 2 things so you're not overwhelmed from that training call, and then be like, okay, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do, XYZ tomorrow. So you don't have to do it all, but at least pick like 1 or 2 things and then start doing it. Do it tomorrow. Okay, number 2. Make a list of names of people and talk to people. Invite people into your world. So you guys know, as coaches, we are in the business of people. And you signed up because you want to change other people's lives out there. And obviously you want to probably start with changing the lives of people in your life right now, right? The people who are closest to you and mean the most to you, your family, your friends. So you want to help those people first. And I know you guys have heard this before, just bear with me, but I promise there's information in here, if you heard it before, that is going to be new. So this list is going to contain everybody you know, family, friends, your hairdresser, your nail technician, people you went to school with, people who you used to work with. So that's what this list is that you start out with. And you can use the memory jogger in your Coach Online office to, jog your memory and mind you, of people that you may not automatically think about when you're making your list that you do know. So use that. It's a good tool. And this list is going to be with you always. So find a way to make it work that works for you, whether it's putting it in a notebook, using Asana, which is what I prefer, or Google Docs, an Excel spreadsheet. You know, find a method that works for you. And then the other point I want to make is you have to be talking to these people. How are you going to change their lives if you're not talking to them and building conversations, right? So every day, make it your goal to get somebody's name off that list. But in the same regard, you also want to be getting somebody's name on it, okay? So one name off, one name on, every single day. So what do I mean by get somebody's name off the list? So you need to be reaching out at a minimum to 3 to 5 people per day that are on that list that you made. And simply reaching out, I don't mean messaging and saying, hey, do you want to buy some Shakeology? Don't do that. No, no, no. Just send them what we call it, like, I know Carla's like, I don't talk this way, but a hey girl message, okay? So you're just connecting with them on a personal level and reaching out and seeing what's new in their life, what's been going on. You know, just reach out to them, get to know them. Hold on, I lost my spot here with my notes. Okay, so this is getting somebody off your list. And know when you're talking to them, it may not necessarily be that you're going to help them. It may be to where the conversation and relationship blossoms to where they end up helping you at some point, which is really cool. You never know what direction that conversation is going to go, right? But you have to reach out to them to at least start that, initiate that process. Okay, so how can you add people to your list? And I've gone over this before, but I just want to add that into this training. So the memory jogger, like I said, is a great tool. Add friends of friends. That's probably the best way, hands down, as a new coach to start building your network, is adding friends of friends. So what I do is I look at people who I think are really cool, like I look up to them, or they seem like they've really kind of got it going on. And I will go into their friends list and see who we have mutual friends with, and then friend request a few of those people. Because chances are, if they're that type of person, then they're going to attract similar people like them. And those are the kinds of people that I want to get to know, who I want to be friends with and connect with. The other couple methods are Instagram, and obviously Facebook groups that you have, you know, the interest in, which we've talked about before. And when you do add these people, don't just add them. Send them a personal private message just thanking them for accepting your friend request. Let them know, hey, you know, I saw you were friends with so-and-so who is, you know, I love, who's awesome or whatever, and I thought maybe we should connect too. You know, make it short and sweet. And there's a couple scripts that I uploaded too that you guys can use for sending to people that you add as a new friend on Facebook. So you can use those. Another tip about connecting with people on your list is, say it's somebody who you haven't talked to for quite a while, like maybe you did talk to them at some point on Facebook and it's been 3 or 4 months. Just send them a I've been thinking about you message, like out of the blue. You know, people love that. And be sincere. I'm not saying be fake about it. Be sincere that you really are thinking about them. But those kinds of messages really go a long ways because it makes people feel good. I mean, how good do you feel when somebody messages you out of the blue saying, hey, I was thinking of you, I'm wondering how you're doing. So that's another little tip. And then remember this about people. If you tried to be a Beachbody coach at a different point in your life than when you joined, do you think it would have worked out? So I want you to think about that when you're talking to people and you're presenting the business opportunity to people, even challenge groups. There's a reason it's just not the right time for them. So think about it in your own shoes and your perspective. You know, I know when I was asked for the first time about coaching, I didn't join, and I didn't join the second time or third time or fourth time. It took me like 8 months, and then it was the right time for me. Okay, number 3, set goals. So I'm going to talk about 2 different kinds of goals. So first type of goals to set are non-negotiable goals. Now, these are the kind of goals that are never really going to change. They're always going to be consistent. So that can be Success Club. It can be how many invites you do in a day. It can be your daily vital behaviors. And I don't know if you guys saw, but I uploaded the Power of Threes tracking tools in our Fast Forward Coach group today. And there's one for every single day of the week. So use them, print them off. I personally printed them all off for this week because it's something that I'm going to really start sticking to. I was using Asana for a while for my tracking, and it was getting kind of muddled in all my follow-ups. So now it's like Asana is just my follow-ups, and I'm going to use this paper and pencil method for a few weeks and see how it works out for me. See, I'm still learning. Oh, Carla's shaking her head. But yeah, the Power of Threes tracking tools, that's your non-negotiable goal every single week. Okay, this is what you do every day. Second kind of goal is set push goals. And these are the kind of goals that are going to be evolving and changing. So your non-negotiables aren't changing, they're consistent every single day. That's what you're doing, right? Your Power of Threes. Your push goal is going to be different. So what is a push goal? Push goal is going to be like your rank advancement goal, becoming an elite coach, becoming an elite leader, something along those lines. So if you're a new coach coming into the business, then your push goal is probably going to be Emerald, and your non-negotiable is going to be Success Club. But that will change as you progress in the business. So have that mindset to do whatever it takes to make these goals come true, but with integrity. Don't be one of those crazy coaches. I'm not saying that because, I mean, I heard about some people that were, you know, getting their push goals and they were making fake accounts and fake coaches, and they got to like 5-star diamond and they ended up getting everything yanked away by Beachbody because they got caught. So with integrity, of course. But to make this business work, you have to really have thick skin, and you have to have tenacity in this business. So that's where your personal development is going to come in huge, to help you when those days they're hard. There's going to be hard days. But this business really is about getting out there and making it happen and getting out of your own head. Okay, so 2 action items I have with number 3 for you guys. And I would really like you guys to post this by tomorrow night in our Push to Success group, okay? So the first one is write down your non-negotiable goals. And number 2, write down your push goal. And then I want you guys to share those in our Push to Success group. I'll share mine, okay? All right, next, be consistent and be steady. That's number 4. Be consistent and be steady. So what does consistency mean? Consistency means you're not being stagnant, right? You're moving forward, hence the name of our team, Team Fast Forward. So if you're not listening to calls, you're not doing the vital behaviors, you're at a standstill and potentially moving backwards. You're not progressing forward. So that means showing up every single day as if you won't have this business tomorrow. Like, you need to have that mentality. Did I do everything I could possibly do today? For me, something that works for me to motivate me when I'm having an off day or, you know, struggling to be motivated or focused is I think about you guys. So I think about working my business as if my coaches are watching me right now. Like I say, I never ask you guys to do anything I'm not willing to do myself. And that really motivates me to get my butt in gear and to drop the excuses. And yeah, I have crappy days too, and I have stuff going on or something big happens. But I think about you guys. That's what motivates me is, okay, if my coaches are watching me, how did I, you know, handle today? Did I get everything done on my to-do list? Did I do my power of threes? Because I can't sit here and ask you guys to do it if I'm not doing it myself. So make it count. That shows people that you're really there, that you're doing your workouts, that you're learning. And I'm talking especially on your social media. Okay, that's where consistency is really, really important. People aren't going to trust you on Facebook or Instagram if they're not seeing you show up every single day. So I want you to think about it as like an actual store, right? Say you had this store and you were only open every once in a while and people would drive by and be like, oh, there's that one place that's like never open, or I think they're open on a Thursday, or I mean, are people going to want to come to your store? Are they going to want to come check out what you have to offer? No, because they're not going to have that trust in you. They're not going to think that you're that you legitimately care in them. Same thing goes for your messages. If you aren't responding to your messages to people until like a week later, they're going to think, well, you just don't care. Okay, so people will believe in you when you show up consistently. Remember, with this business, people don't buy the programs and products because they love Beachbody. Most people don't even know what the heck Beachbody is. They're going to buy the programs and products or join because they like you and they trust you. So here's a quote I wanted to share with you guys that I really love. Success is one step past your greatest failure. Success is one step past your greatest failure. The biggest thing that I've learned in this business is every time that I feel like I've hit a point where I'm failing, like a big roadblock, or I think Christina said like a pothole or whatever, you know, it's like, bam, I get this crazy success, or somebody joins my challenge, or I have a coach out of the blue say, okay, I'm ready to do this, that, you know, I talked to for the last 4 months or whatever. So that quote is so true. Success is one step past your greatest failure. So remember that when you're struggling and you're feeling like you're failing. Okay, so to go along with that, number 5, embrace the failure. So it's never really a failure if you don't give up, right? Do you guys know how many people tell me they're going to buy Shakeology or that they're going to join as a coach and they don't? Do you guys know how many? A lot. So don't give up if you want this business. Embrace that. Don't live a life of regret and then, you know, if this is what you really want and what you believe in, you want to help other people and make a difference in your life and your families, then don't live a life of regret. So if you fail at something, you're going to, it's just normal, or you're not really good at something, that doesn't mean you should ever give up, right? You're only going to get better the more you do it. So everybody has hard times. But if you're going to give up on yourself and your dreams and on the passion that you have inside you that we all have, that's why we decided to do this. And just because it feels hard, if you give up, then that is failure. So give this business your all. Don't just, like I said in the beginning, don't just dip your toes in. Jump. And don't let your failures get you down. Here's another quote I want to share with you guys that's great, is failure is a payment to reach success. So you have to experience some downs in order to experience the highs and the ups, right? It's twofold. So think about this business, you know, being a coach, like strip away all the money, all the recognition as a coach with this business. What do you have? You're healthier. You are more confident. You're a stronger person. You're a better mother. You're a better daughter, wife, you know, person overall because of this business, because you guys know that as a coach, if we're not learning and growing, then we are what? Like I said, probably going backwards in our business. So if you strip away, take away all the like the financial, shiny, pretty stuff, it makes you a better person. It really does. And you know, think about our team. Think about the people that you've met since becoming a coach. You know, you're surrounding yourself with people who are uplifting, who aren't like negative Nancy's and trying to suck the life out of you. You know, you have people that want to see you do better, who encourage you and try to bring out the best in you. So, so just think, like, if I gave up on my business in the first year, none of you guys would be here, right? I wouldn't see any of you. I wouldn't know any of you. Okay, and I'm just one person. I had this message and this mission and this crazy passion to hopefully inspire other people to make a change, to see that they had that within themselves. So it's really about becoming self-empowered and then sharing that message with others out there. It's not up to us to change people. And I know I get that a lot from you guys. And I felt the same way. You get frustrated when you're trying to like show somebody the light. Like if you read this book, or if you just start exercising, or you just do this, then things will happen, things will change. But that isn't our job. Our job is to give people the tools and the opportunity and to give them love that they can latch onto and make that decision if they want to. You know, we put it out there for them. It's not our job to change them. Okay, so my final tip tonight is learn to believe in yourself. Very important. If you don't, or you're struggling, get some good personal development. That mental block that you have, if you're not believing in yourself, is going to kill everything. It really will. And I know because I've been there. I've struggled, and I still have struggles. And we'll probably always have those ongoing struggles of believing in ourselves. But know that you can do this. All right, that is all I got for tonight. Do you guys have any questions? I saw lots of writing. I like that.
I don't have a question, but when you were talking about consistency, I noticed I kind of fell off a little bit with everything, with the business, with the nutrition, with exercising. And now that I'm starting to start posting more and I'm getting back into it, I can tell everything on social media feels like it's right back to square one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have as many likes. I don't have as many comments. So hopefully that'll start picking back up. But it's something I've really noticed a lot.
It will. And it will pick up, and what you're experiencing is normal, because when you're not consistent, you lose that momentum. Like, you had that going, and then you take however long, a month off or whatever, you are going to see a difference in people interacting with you. But don't give up. Like, give it a couple weeks and you'll get back on it, and it'll be back where it was. But that's why it's so important to not let it fall by the wayside, because it's so much harder to get that fire started again. You know what I mean? So I'm glad to have you back, and don't give up, Christina. It'll be a little rough for a week or so, but you're awesome. So I wouldn't worry about it. Just stick with it. Stick with the consistency. All right, if nobody else has any questions, we'll call it a night. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for getting on the call. And don't forget about the homework for the Push to Success group. I can't wait to read your guys' goals, okay? Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.